Welcome to Between the Lines, the Journeyman's Tales. As you can see, I've tried something different this week. I've come up to Unity and fishing on the road bank. The weather is nice. I don't know what the air pressure is, I haven't looked to be perfectly honest, but it's overcast and cloudy. There's a little bit of a north-northwesterly breeze at this stage moving across. It's not overly crowded, which is really surprising. I wasn't expecting to get on the road bank. There's a few off to my left. Maybe a guy's going to pop in next to me on my right. There's a couple opposite, but in the scheme of things, it's not too bad. So I've done the usual. Fish meal spot is out. The rods are out. I'm trying to relax and have a cup of coffee and chill out a bit. Anyway, when it all kicks off, you'll be the first to know. Now, according to all the books, that should be feeding fish, disturbing my oily bait. We'll see. Well, that slick continued to come up for quite some time. I've repositioned the baits within the slick area, which is basically where I've been putting the spot out, but nothing's come of it. It's gone quiet now. I'm tempted to put a bit more spot in, but I don't want to rush into doing anything too drastic, but I don't know. If that was seriously fish, you'd have thought there'd have been a run out of that lot, but who knows. I think we'll leave it a little bit longer, maybe put in a couple of small spods just before it starts getting dark maybe. Well, obviously that was a very quiet night. I had a liner on each rod, and not at the same time, about an hour's difference. Despite there being a massive big fish moon, nothing's come out. The guy next door's had nothing. I don't think anything's come out at all. There's a few fish showing right on the far margin, but certainly nothing in the vicinity of the bait. The slick has stopped coming up, so I don't know what all that was about. I would have thought with the amount of slick that was coming up, we'd have had a run. Checked the baits have been fine, so no answers to that. It's ridiculously hot again, so later on I'm going to put a couple of zigs out and I'll put some more bait in and hope things improve for the second night. I'll get back to you. Well, it's been a long old afternoon. I've been zig fishing, but there's no fish showing really, so it's difficult to know what's actually going on out there. There's nothing been shown over the baited area at all. The only fish I've seen have been right on the far margin up against the reed bed. Anyway, rested the swim, so I put a bit more bait out before putting the rigs out. Just settling down for the evening and hope against hope that something turns up tonight, but it's really hard work, and as far as I'm aware nothing else has come out on this particular lake. Whether they're coming out around the syndicate, I have no idea, but I don't think anything's come out on this one. Anyway, hopefully something will turn up through the night. Well, that was another extremely quiet night, not even any liners this time. There was a few minor swirls the other side of the baited area, but nothing substantial. Nothing showing anywhere that I could see anyway. There's been a few sticking the reds out, again right up against the far reed side, but the guy on the far bank hasn't caught anything as far as I can see. Anyway, it's time for me to cut my losses, head my way home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers for now. Good afternoon. As you can see, I've moved swims. Actually, I've moved lakes, and I've gone to Yeomans. I'm fishing on the Carp side of the lake and up at the end of the island. I've never fished up here before, but there seems to be a lot of weed off to my right. There's a guy fishing off the point of the island to my left, so I thought I'd put a bit of space in between us. There's been a couple of fish top right close to the margins, but that's chock-a-block with weed. It only begins to clear as far as I can tell. And once you get past the marginal shelf down into about 8 foot of water. So I put a fair bit of spot out, usual mix, crushed boilie, 10 millers, all in the fish meal with some corn, and I put a bit of hemp in now because the water was getting warmer. And got strange really, put the first rod in, and before I even got the second rod, so I got a storming run off it, and then picked the rod up, and it was obviously a liner right in my margin. So I've replaced that rod off to my right under a bush quite close in, and the other two rods have been whizzing up and down. Well, presumably we've got bream busy, but that seems to have gone a bit quiet. And the weather's really good. It's been incredibly warm. You can probably see by my face how warm it's been. But it's clouding over now. It's a good southwesterly blowing. There is a threat of rain, but it all looks really good, and hopefully before not too long those bobbins are going to fly up and stay up, and we'll be into something useful. Anyway, as usual, you will be the first to know. Just when you think it's all going to be bream bites, it actually ramps off, but it's kiting into the reeds here. Oh, it's right in the marginal weed down here now. Go on, kite out, you little devil. No, not that way, the other way. Whoa, tiger. Whoa, 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 keep your head up. That's the one. Happy days. Happy days. Now wait, let's behave ourselves, shall we? Just it's starting to tip down with rain. Always good to get the session off to a good start, and a scrape of 20 to boot. And it's starting to tip down, so I'm getting suitably soaked. We're well happy. There you go. I'll get this back before I get absolutely soaking, but cracking start. Excellent. £7.2. Excellent. Can't be upset with that, can you? Well, good morning. The good news is, after 11 consecutive nights of not catching any carp, I actually had one last night, so that's broken that run of bad luck during the night. It was only 11.5 pounds, but at least it was a carp. As for the rest of the night, it was absolute chaos. I mean, it just went on from dusk, really. You'd say they were bream, but I mean, I didn't land anything, didn't hook anything, didn't get anywhere near hooking anything. But the bobbins continually going all night up until the carp. Really, the carp was about 3 o'clock-ish, and then it seemed to quieten down a little bit. But up until that point, all the rods were going off. A couple of bleeps dropping back, couple of bleeps dropping back, even pulling up tight, taking line off the spool. Still nothing. Normally, if they're bream, they hang on to the death, but God knows what was out there. And then first thing this morning, had a nice £7 tench, which you'll never hear me complain about. And it's gone quiet again since. Whatever was causing the chaos in the night has stopped. Now it's daylight. So I'm going to finish this coffee, put a little bit of spot in. I think I've put too much in, and see if we can get it to perk up a bit. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, that was a crazy built intake right out of the blue. don't know if there's weed down there. Seems to slow down dramatically. No, it's not. They do hang on though. Excellent. Oh, I don't know. That's better than I thought it was. It was about 20 past 10 and that crazy thing roared off totally out of the blue. Fooled me, I thought it was smaller than it was. 25 pounds 7 ounces. Chuffed. Thrilled with that one. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. And he's been definitely eating the hemp because he's passing a bit of that. There we go. Straighten up, baby. Got a couple of historical scars. Put a bit of antiseptic on her and get her back. Overjoyed. Absolutely. Excellent. Right. Well, nothing substantial has happened since I had that 26 about 10 this morning. I did trickle some bait in during the course of the day. There's been one or two fish sticking their heads up to my left of the island. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. I've put in some more bait for this evening and tonight. About half an hour ago, the bobbin started dancing again. Oh, I don't know what he's moving around on the bait. If it is bream, they're very, very small bream, because normally they hang themselves regardless. Anyway, looks like it's going to be in for another busy night. Hopefully, though, a couple of them will be some substantial carp mixed in the middle of it all. Anyway, looking forward to being awake most of the night. Hopefully, for something rewarding. Definitely not a bream bite, this one. Definitely not a bream bite. Nice plump little one this time. 21 pound 5 ounces. If this had come off, I'd have said it was a mid-30. Fought like a crazy common, as you would expect. What a corker. Absolutely fabulous. Set me up for the evening of treat. Just got to keep the bream at bay. Excellent. Right. Oh. Well, I was just relaxing, waiting for an evening of what I'm surmising are bream bites, with the bobbin just dancing around and dropping back, and all of a sudden the middle rod just ramped off at 200 miles an hour. What turned out to be a crazy common, as you saw. Shot off to the left and tried to get under the overhanging bushes, which I managed to turn, obviously, and bring it back in. But if that had come off, I'd have thought that was a mid-30 all day long. And my arms were shaking at the end of that. I'm well happy bunny. And a couple more like that before morning would be exceptional. Not a massive piece again. Ooh, 13, 10. There you go. I think it's a good start of the day. Let's get it back. Well, that was a much quieter night. I only got woken up once. The bream, indeed they were bream, had buggered off, fortunately. Unfortunately, no carp turned up, but I did have a 13-pounder, more or less at first light this morning, so that was good. I put in a wee bit more spod, refreshed the baits, and look forward to something turning up around bite time, which was 10 yesterday, so maybe something will turn up round about then. Fingers are crossed still. And there I was. Excuse me, there I was. Just taking a wee scratch for my afternoon nap. And as you can see, the right hand rod has shot off 300 miles an hour. Keeping long and deep. Slow and ponderous, they'd call that, I think. And now all you can think about is knots and hook holds. It's not turning in a hurry. Let's get out here. Now it's turning. Oh, I don't like where that weed's ended up. I'll tell you what, there's strong fish in here. Or am I getting weaker? Trying to keep them out the other two rods. Didn't like the look of that, does it? That'll do us. Happy days. Woo, 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 now's not the time. Just having an afternoon nap. Bob's your uncle. Happy days. It's still very lively. Calm down. How about that? Just having an afternoon lie down, and off it went. 1913. Excellent. They go really well, these beasties. Thrilled to bits with that. This side's slightly better. Let's put some stuff, antiseptic on his mouth as well. Let's turn him around. Oh. All right. Oh, tap, tap, tap. There we go. How about that? Thrilled to bits. Thrilled to bits. Right, let's get some antiseptic on her and slip her back. Well, I haven't really established a bite time because that was 1 o'clock and I just put some spod in, recast the rods, freshened them up a bit and went and had a lie down, and literally 20 minutes in, the right hand rod melted off with another glorious common, and I've recast it and I put 2 more spods over that particular rod. Now that's the second time that rod's actually responded fairly quickly to spod going in, so maybe it's more to do with that. But the line is sinking as we speak. It was on the last 2 fish have come on West Coast 30, bait rooms West Coast 30. I keep forgetting to mention it, but people keep asking me. And the previous fish came on a Pro Baits squid and orange. Anyway, I'm going to clip the bobbin back up again, now the line's sunk, and I'm going to go and have another lie down, inspire a bite. Yeah, so much for having a lie down. Gotcha, you little bugger. Right, come on now. Here. Well, the tactic is drop some spod in and go and have a lie down. 17 pounds, 1 ounce on a balanced tiger nut. And that's it definitely now. Spod in, lie down, run. Happy days. Oh. She's got a bit of a wound on this side. Put some antiseptic on her before she goes back. Happy days. Well, what a night that turned out to be. Non-stop activity. The bobbins were dancing all over the place. In the middle of it all I had a tench, so presumably the bream were just getting a bad press. But normally tench will give you a decent run, but they obviously weren't. They were just fiddling around with everything. And in the middle of all that, there were 2 mice in the bivvy who did not want to leave. Even got the rubbish bag down off a branch for one point and put it on the floor to give them something to play with outside the bivvy, but no, they didn't want to know. They wanted to run amok inside the bivvy. So at one point, to distract myself, I put audio book on so I could listen to that, which I did manage to fall asleep for a little bit, but they, even at light this morning, the mice were still there, so I've stripped out a bit of the bivvy and I think they've buggered off at last. Apart from that, no carp. So I put a small bit of spot out this morning, not a lot. Refreshed the rods, because nothing's come particularly early so far. And we're on last knockings now. And if nothing happens, that'll be, I think, 7 fish, I think was the end of it. What's happening next? I don't know whether I go out next week or not. I think it's the weekend after next. I booked a celebration trip to Cherry Lakes. We've actually got the cottage. We've never been in the cottage before. It's got a hot tub, so beloved will be well happy. And I'll tell you more about celebrations when we get there. But if I don't speak to you again before the end of this trip, thanks for watching. Cheers for now.